Ready? I'm gonna fire the laser. Firing the laser. Pew! Yep, it cooks
Stuff.
I just burned my table. And then, oh, we got some nice shades in here. Hell yeah. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video for me, Alan with Alan's Inventions. And today I have this laser cutter engraver that the company Longer sent me. So I'm going to be doing a review video, unboxing, assembling, and then putting it to the test to see how it works. You do need to wear glasses when you're working with lasers because it can blind you, especially with these power levels. So keep that in mind if you do decide to get one of these. But for now, I actually can't see because everything's a green tone and it'll drive me nuts. Okay, so getting right into it, it looks like this is the laser itself. We have what looks like the gantry for the laser. We have a control panel. This does look like a very simple assembly, not too many parts in here. What do we have here? Some cables. Or what else do we have in here? Power brick. All right. So these are 2020 aluminum channels. Oh, these are the corner brackets slash legs. Okay, so there's 3 of those in here. And then back to this gantry. Oh, I see the axle's already attached. Okay. So how do we get that out without messing with it? Like a professional, of course. One of the things that I like about these machines is that usually they come with all the installation instructions and random things you're going to need to get it up and running properly. So for right now, I'm just going to need the Allen wrenches. I've got the freaking laser, man. Come on, it works. Assembly was easy. Now I gotta make something cool. Maybe I'll make a laser gun. Okay, so the machine's already all assembled right here. I've downloaded the software. All I did was use a Gerbil laser and I put the file onto this SD card. All I'm gonna do is set the focus so that it knows the material height, and then I'm going to try cutting that alien out. So the wood I'll be cutting is 5mm art panel. So I got this from Michael's, and yeah, I just want to see if it's gonna cut through. It's at 100% power and also at the fastest speed. So if it doesn't, it's fine because usually you need to go slower for thicker materials, but I think this should be no problem. Let's see. Okay, well, one thing I did not anticipate was the homing. So I have to figure that out. Let me go check the settings and try again. So I don't know how to say it, but I'm just gonna say it. It cut it. It's 5mm wood. It's not even meant to be laser cut, and it went straight through. So that's a good sign there. That means I can cut acrylic pretty easily. I'll cut a few pieces and show you guys, but I think this is pretty damn good. So for my next set of cuts, what I'm gonna do is, instead of taking an SD card and putting that into the laser cutter, I'm actually going to hook up the laser to my laptop and then use Gerbil laser to control the laser and then try to cut a file that way. So let's see if it works. My fellow Americans. Alright, now that I've inhaled enough fumes to get a pretty good high in here, I've actually had a couple of changes since that last clip I filmed. I added the air assist and I figured out how to cut a little bit better using Lightburn. Using the Lightburn software, I was able to actually do a cut and engrave. This mess up was my fault, so I went and touched the laser as it was working and it messed up the E. So it did also mess up the cut a little bit, but again, that's my fault. You should not touch it after it starts. Make sure that you tape it down well or whatever attachment method you have to your surface. So as you can see, this took about, I think it was like 15 minutes. It's about 10 inches. Yeah, I know. Shocking. I forgot what that joke was. I wrote it in, but now I don't want to use it. So anyways, then I went ahead and recut the alien in green. So it came out much better. As you can see, sorry if I'm looking over there. It's just where my monitor's at because I'm poor and don't have a proper setup, as you can tell. But anyways, the alien came out pretty good. So I dialed in my settings. This was all cut, of course, but Lightburn made it way easier. So I could actually do the cut outside, the cut inside. And I was going to engrave the eyes, but I decided not to. I just wanted to cut them all the way through. So you can see that one there. Oh, that's a good shot. I like that. Anyways. And on to the last thing. So I found an SVG online for a small box. Cuts out into little pieces like this. I'm sure I'll be overlaying some footage here or there somewhere. And then you kind of assemble the whole thing together. It's really hard to assemble if you don't start gluing the pieces, but it comes together pretty nicely once you actually go ahead, cut it, peel the acrylic off, and then try to assemble it before it falls apart on you. So anyways, cool little box. I cut it out of wood and green acrylic. I was going to initially do it out of clear acrylic, but that's where I learned something. You see this? Look at my other camera angle. Boom. Back to this. Apparently diode lasers cannot cut clear acrylic. The light just diffuses before it gets all the way through and it just melts it. So if you can kind of see that, it just burns the back side, and the front side is pretty. The front side looks good, but the back side is just burnt and charred. Diode lasers cannot cut clear acrylic, only engrave, which is kind of a downer because the next project I had in mind involved a lot of clear acrylic, but I will try frosted and see if that works. So stay tuned for that. I think if you're into like LED and RGB lighting, you might like that project. So anyways, that was another thing I learned. And what else did I cut? I think that's it for now. I'm really happy with the laser. It's actually kind of OP'd. I wasn't kidding about the fumes. It was cutting through the material I was using and then burning the surface underneath, which, by the way, I'm in my garage, but it's very ventilated. You can see my fan out the window example. Then I open the door and I turn on the fan from the roof fan that we have. Even then, it was cutting all the way through, and I'll show you guys here that this surface material is actually cabinet furniture, and it has some sort of laminate, and it's just very toxic to breathe in, so be aware of that. This laser does not come with an enclosure or a cutting board table or whatever you want to call it. So if the laser goes through, it's going to burn whatever's underneath, and you're going to have, you know, potentially toxic smoke in the room or wherever it is you're cutting. So just another thing to keep in mind, but overall it's pretty happy with the cuts. It's very intricate. You know, the resolution is pretty good, 0.1 millimeter I think it is. So I am using gloves because of that residue. So the residue actually stuck to my acrylic. It's not necessarily from the acrylic or from the laser. Again, it has more to do with this. And I think that's it. What else? Things that I learned. Lightburn is really good software. This longer Ray 5 20 watt laser is really good if you want to get started with like your own cutting business or something like that. Just keep in mind you cannot do clear. And from personal experience, clear is kind of popular for a lot of different things like engraving and doing custom like Christmas ornaments and stuff like that. I do sell some of that on Etsy. You can go take a look at my Etsy store or check out my Instagram. That's where I kind of post random stuff about what I'm doing. I know it's been a while, but this is a good video to get back into it. I have a few coming up with this laser. Yeah, that's kind of it for the video.